This is the Homemonitor HD. This camera is going to be installed above this window, quite high up, so that we can keep an eye on the garden. It films in 720p and it automatically sends the pictures direct to a website where you can review them once you have opened an account. You can connect the camera to the internet two ways. You can either screw the aerial on the back and connect via Wi-Fi to your router, or you can use an Ethernet cable. If you use the Ethernet cable, it actually has power over Ethernet, so that means that you simply plug it in. You don't need to bother plugging in the adapter as well that goes with it. If you use the Wi-Fi, you do need to plug the power adapter in. So if you use the Ethernet option, it is a lot simpler and a lot easier because it's just a case of plugging in that one cable. When you get the kit, it comes with a quick start guide, the camera itself, power adapter, network cable, fixings, and in there is the aerial, which we will not actually be using. The first thing we need to do is connect the camera to the internet. So you may need to plug this in the back of your router. I've actually got an home network, so I've just plugged the network cable into that. So I can simply plug that into the back of the camera, and the camera will then connect to the Homemonitor server. So we're going to remove the mounting plate. That just twists off. And then inside there we have the connectors. So we're going to connect the power connector into that socket, make sure that's nice and tight. And then we're going to plug the network cable into the other socket, just like so. And you'll notice at the front there, the LED is red. We need to wait for that to go to green. Once that goes to green, it means that it has connected to the server. It can take up to 10 minutes for the light to go green, and as you can see, it's already on green, so we are already connected to the Homemonitor server. We're now logged into the Homemonitor website, so we're now going to click on Camera Manager and we're going to click on Add New Camera. So we now need to type the camera ID into that field. We're now going to enter the number that is listed on the front of the manual. It's the bottom number that we need, not the top number. It should be 12 digits long. And then we just need to give the camera a name, and then we'll click on Check Connection to Camera. If you want to connect via Wi-Fi, you can put your Wi-Fi key for your router in there and you can connect via Wi-Fi. We're going to connect via cable, so we'll just click on that. Now that we've successfully added the camera, we can now unplug it and we can go and mount it in its final position.
I'm now using an SDS drill and a 10mm drill bit to drill an hole completely through the skin of the property from the outside in. I'm then lining the hole using a piece of 10mm speed fit pipe. I've just marked it there. I'm now trimming it to length. And then I'm just going to push that back in so it's flush with the bricks. That will protect the cable that is coming through the cavity. I've now put the back plate on the wall and I am now marking the drill holes. I'm now using the SDS drill again and I am drilling the two fixing holes. You'll notice that I'm pulsing the drill. That's because I don't want to actually damage the mortar in between the bricks. Once the holes are drilled, you can put the plugs in and then you are ready to fit the back plate. I'm now pushing the network cable through the pipe. And then I've pushed the grommet and also the back plate onto it. The grommet actually creates a watertight seal in the back of the back plate. So once that's fixed, I'll then push the remainder of the cable through the hole. And then that can be fixed in position using the two screws that are provided. And I'm just going to tighten them up using a Phillips screwdriver. Now we're coming to connect the camera. It's just a case of plugging in the RJ45 connector into the socket and then tidying the other sockets and the cables into the back of the camera mount. That then twists into position. And then it's held in position using a grub screw. This cable is now running through the loft. To keep it out of the way, I'm just going to clip it up to the roof timbers. That is now out of the way. It won't get damaged if anybody is ever working up in the loft area. The other end of this cable is connected to the camera. I've terminated that into a socket because it's easier than crimping on an RJ45 connector. I've then used a patch lead. The patch lead goes into the powered port of the PoE switch. That then goes via another patch lead into the other network switch. So after we've done that, we have then got power going from the PoE switch through to the socket and eventually through to the camera, which powers the camera. Now that the camera is installed, we can now go back to the Wirecam website and we can continue setup. And there you can see that the camera is now working. I've now just been up and adjusted the camera and I've got it pointing exactly where I want it, so now we can see the old garden. You will notice that it is actually in night vision there. So now we've done that, we can now click on next and then we can set up the zone. We want the camera out there to catch the wildlife, so we're going to set it to a small movement. And then we're going to create a motion zone. And that's about right. We want virtually the whole picture on there, so we're going to click on Save Settings. And it's set to GMT, which is correct, and it's set to all day, which is correct. So we're going to save settings and add camera to account. And then we can go to My Home. And we can see the camera. We're now just going to click on Camera Manager and then we can click on the camera settings there. We're just going to disable the microphone because we don't really need that, we just need to see what's actually happening out there. We're just going to disable the night vision for the minute and we'll just save that and then we'll see what the picture's like. We'll now just go to My Home, we'll then go to Live View. So that's a live view in 720p HD, and when we click on enlarge screen you can see virtually the old garden.